Welcome to La Ventanita C.F. This is a new little project started up by me, Bernard Toledo, and my co-host today, Akeem. Say
Yo,
what's up, Akeem?
what up? What's going on? Well, I'm glad to be here. This is going to be very interesting, going to be very fun. I'm ready to mess everything up and screw it up and stumble through it anyways, just like me in real life.
Yeah, definitely, and that's definitely what we want to bring. We want to thank you guys for tuning into this. This is definitely our first project, so hold with us if things are a little bit rough. But
There
yeah,
will be rough. There will be very rough.
they will be. But yeah, although that's kind of what we're aiming for, right? We want to bring a kind of a fan's perspective, a supporter's perspective into Inter Miami, and all things South Florida soccer. So I'll start off by introducing myself. I'm your host. I'm Bernard Toledo, aka Wario64. You could find me at Wario64 on Twitter, Instagram. Akeem, plug up your social media.
I go by Calypso. My name's Calypso. I go by Calypso GLHF on all socials, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, all of that stuff. Instagram, which I don't really use, but yeah, I'm there anyways.
Yeah, definitely. And we'll be recording this on video. We'll be uploading it to Akeem's YouTube, putting it on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, everywhere where you get your podcast. So stay tuned. We're going to try to do a preview for every game and show you how excited we get for all of this. So without further ado, let me do a quick introduction for myself and then we'll go with Akeem. But yeah, I'm Wario64, Bernie. Some of you might have seen me on the fucking open draw. Oh, by the way, might drop a few curse bombs here and there. Sorry about that. We'll try
Don't
to keep it
fucking
as
curse. What
PG.
the fuck is wrong with you?
We'll keep it as PG-13 as possible. But yeah,
Yeah.
we'll drop a few f bombs here and there. But yeah, you might have seen me at the Open Cup draw, City Hall. I've been involved really heavily lately with the team and stuff like that. Doing some of these things has been really cool, and it's honestly brought out a little inspiration with me. And I said, you know what? Let's make this channel. We've always wanted to make kind of some content for fans to enjoy from a supporter's perspective, give you guys kind of an inside glimpse. And I really also kind of want to change things up. I want to make some episodes about Miami soccer history. I don't know if I've told you yet, Akeem, but I got a friend who's a librarian. I kind of want to dive deep into the rich soccer history here in Miami, the Miami
Hmm.
Gatos, Toros, stuff like that.
People don't
Onto the
realize that. People think like we never really had teams, but we, like you said, we had the Toros, the Gatos. We had a lot of teams dating back from like the '70s and stuff like that that people like sleep on.
the strikers, and then
Hmm.
there's also like Bele playing for the Cosmos coming down here. I'm sure you would have wanted to play in Miami.
Of
the
course.
the original Beckham DP Pele.
Yeah, for real.
uh, but no, man. All jokes aside, I definitely want to get into some history of Inter Miami. Supporters group for Inter Miami. A lot of people wonder, where did Siege come about? Where did Vice City come about? Where did Southern Legion come about? Why is Southern Legion the original supporters group? So I definitely want to kind of dive into some neutral stuff there. I want to bring in fans, interview some supporters from Vice City. I want to interview some supporters from other supporters groups and stuff like that, and bring them on so you guys can get kind of like an inside view into what it's like being a supporter. But more about me, I'm Cuban American. My parents are born in Cuba. I was born here. I discovered this game through U.S. men's national team, actually. I don't have a national team to support. Soccer was getting feverish with the FIFA games, and you know what? I'm American through and through. I was born and raised in this country. I owe it all to this country. Always been very patriotic. So we're also going to talk a little bit USMNT every now and then. Me and Akeem are both Vice City members, Vice City 1896.
See it
We're
right here.
obviously gonna, yeah, there you go. We got mine up here too. But yeah, we're gonna obviously be a little biased, talk about it through that lens. But we understand there's different supporters group for different people, different angles, and we support anybody who supports Inter Miami, honestly.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, definitely going to cover some USMNT as well. We're also Barra 76 members. This is a new supporters group, kind of an alternative to AO. Akeem, you're a member of Barra 76, right? Or
Yeah.
am I mistaken?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Akeem's a member too. We'll do some of those, some stuff like that too. But I'm excited to have you guys on. We're hardcore fans. We're going to the game today. We go to every home game. We make it to some away games as well. And we'll get into all of that too. Akeem, you want to do a short intro about yourself?
Yeah. No problem. I'm
Yeah.
Akeem. I go by Calypso online. I've been actually following the game for quite a long time. Actually, I'm kind of like the opposite. I was raised in the culture, I guess you can say. My dad played when he was my age. He was a coach up until recently. My brother played. Everybody in my family pretty much played. I'm originally from Trinidad, so the two things there are cricket and soccer. Those are the two big sports in Trinidad. And if you're not playing cricket, you're playing soccer. That's it. You're playing in the streets. You're playing at school. So I grew up, with the whole culture. I it's in my blood. It's something I always knew. So when Inter Miami came around, and even when Miami FC was here, I was happy to finally have like major league or top level soccer in my hometown because like I moved here when I was like about 10 years old, and we had the Fusion. I even had a College Valderrama poster on my wall growing up here when I moved here.
That's awesome as fuck, dude.
Yeah, and
That's so sick.
my dad would buy me jerseys and stuff like that. That's why I have my whole jersey collection now because of that. So I like I said, I grew up in the culture. So when we finally had a team here, especially now one for MLS, I had to jump on a chance. I'm like, I have to do this. I have to link up with you guys right away with Vice City, and it just went from there, and the rest is history.
Yeah, hey, you made a good point. Jerseys. We should do a jerseys episode. I'm like, you got me ready to go into my closet here. I got like a Fusion. Let me see. I got a Fusion jersey somewhere in here.
Oh, I need to get a Fusion one because I have a Miami FC one, but I don't have a Fusion one yet.
I got a few Fusion jerseys.
Nice.
We'll talk jerseys one day. That'll be sick. But let's leave that for like another episode. I want to bring up something you brought up. I forgot to talk about this in my bio. I've always been a Dolphins fan, Marlins fan, hardcore. I was at the '97 World Series. I worked at the Heat Arena, and one thing that was always missing was a soccer team.
Yeah.
I had family that moved to Madrid. They're Atletico Madrid fans. I have some friends from Napoli. That was always cool, but I always wanted a team to call my own. And then Miami FC rolled up. That's actually where me and Akeem met, was in the Miami FC Open Cup run days. Those were good days. That was fun.
It was so much fun.
It was so much fun, dude. And you know what it was? It was live soccer, professional soccer, second division, albeit, but they were beating first division teams. And that really got us into it. And then they decided to go NPSL route instead of USL. They lost a lot of people, including me and Akeem. And we started doing the Vice City thing. I started up with Vice City pretty early, brought in people like Akeem, other former Miami FC people, and it's been a lot of fun, man. Vice City's a family. We'll talk about that in this episode and some other parts, but it's definitely a good atmosphere that you don't want to miss out on. You guys have seen it. If you're listening, you're most likely a hardcore fan and you know what we bring to the table. It's pretty fun. But without further ado, Akeem, you ready to get started with our talking points?
Let's do this damn thing.
All right, so giving you guys a summary of what we're going to talk about today. Since it is our first episode, we're going to catch up on some Open Cup, on this whole Open Cup run. This is a really important tournament to me and Akeem. We'll tell you guys about why later. And we'll talk about the Miami FC game, the Tormenta game, and previewing Orlando a little bit. Or the draw, actually. Reacting to the draw. Then we're going to talk about DC United, kind of preview that match a little bit. And then just talk about how we got 5 games in 14 days, close it out, kind of make it a short episode for today. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to start us off with the Open Cup draw. The first one for Miami FC. That was a crazy one. So if you guys want to hear that in full detail, I came out on Miami Total Football, Franco Panizzo's podcast. Amazing podcast, dude. Honestly,
go check out that podcast. It's a really good podcast.
Please go check out that podcast. Like, if you don't listen to Miami Total Football and you're a diehard Inter Miami fan, there's something wrong with you, because that's a great podcast. He really gets great guests in there, great interviews. And he brought me on, he brought Caesar on once upon a time to talk about it. So if you want to hear full detail about that experience, you can go on to Franco's podcast, go back a few episodes, and you'll find me in there in the Open Cup preview for Miami FC. But yeah, just to summarize it, it was really cool. They reached out to us. They wanted somebody to show up to the Open Cup, and everybody was really hyped because they know I was part of that Miami FC Open Cup run. They know how much I care about it. Akeem, I know you do too. Definitely. If they call next time, I think you're up next, bro.
One of these days, I'm gonna get that call. One of these days.
Yeah, next year's Open Cup run. If they call me, I'm gonna be like, all right, just go straight to Akeem, because Akeem knows a lot about the draw. I actually called him the night before to figure out some stuff about it. He actually gave me some good luck there.
Yeah.
He gave me the scarf.
Yes.
Scarf, bro.
That scarf you're wearing. That was one of my scarves. Yeah.
Yeah. I got it in the closet here. I'll put it up one of these days. But it was really cool. Akeem gave it to me. Maybe some good luck. But yeah, we really wanted to draw Miami FC for a lot of reasons. We've been driving up to Broward. A lot of us from Miami. We've been going all the way up, and we wanted to play a game in Miami. We wanted to play at FIU. Obviously, it's a turf field. It's not the best stadium, but we wanted to be able to play 5 minutes from home. I live 2 miles down the road, and that was a really cool thing. Funny enough, I actually had some people from the team there who they were interviewing us before, and they were like, "Oh, we want to host. Don't tell them that you guys want Miami FC to host." Listen, honestly, I'll lie if you want me to lie, but I don't want to lie. I want Miami FC to host, but whatever. They want to sell hot dogs.
I wanted them to host too, and not even like you mentioned, people from Miami. I actually live in Broward, but I wanted them just to be able to beat them in their own stadium. That's just me being petty.
Yeah.
I live half an hour from everything, so it didn't make a difference to me. I just wanted to beat them in their own stadium.
Well, you're in South Broward, so you're in a
Yeah,
halfway point. You're really at a
I'm
halfway
half
point.
an hour from everything, bro.
Yeah, you really are. But yeah, dude, honestly, the banter was getting horrible between them, and you're right. I really wanted to stick it to them in their own stadium as well, and that was
Hmm.
fun. And honestly, it was fun to fill out a Miami stadium. A lot of us showed up just because it was Miami.
Yeah, we
You
set
know,
we set their record attendances were like a little past 11,000.
I was surprised that was more than the Atlanta match. And you know what? I don't know if they ever counted that MC Cincinnati match. You remember that match got packed that day they got rained out in the
I
quarterfinals.
barely remember
The,
that game.
that was the original match. Remember, it got rained out and they had to play another one. But yeah,
Mm,
either way, fun occurrence. We had a blast, dude. We killed it
it
over
was
there.
so fun.
They allowed us only like one drum, like a snare. I
I
don't
think
know.
we got
They kept
two
us
because I saw Lucho had one
Oh yeah,
and
yeah,
the other
yeah,
guy
yeah.
had. We had two, but they were
We had
both
two. Yeah,
snares. We had no
yeah.
bass drum.
Yeah, we had no bass drum, but it's still we killed it. We killed it. We hung up our flags. Luckily, they let us hang up our flags.
That was nice. They didn't have to do that. That was good on them to let us do that.
Yeah, so that's it from a fan's perspective. We had a blast. Fireworks after the show. Looks like Miami FC's catching on. 'Cause I
Yeah,
think tonight they're doing a fireworks show. So
yeah. They're doing it against San Antonio, I believe. They're
yeah,
playing.
yeah, against San Antonio, they're doing a fireworks show. So we inspired them a bit. But yeah, we had fun. We went up to New Wave bar afterwards. We had a lot of fun there. And it was so cool, man, just to be 5 minutes from home. I had to go to work the next day. Absolute worst day at work ever.
Worth it.
But it was fun. We celebrated a win. It was an ugly win, and let's talk about that real quick
Hey,
because
it
the
is
two
what it is.
performances. Let's start with this one. It is what it is, right? And that's been a big talking point on a lot of the other podcasts, right? Is
Hmm.
some people say, oh, well, a win's a win, and other people say, well, if they're going to be ugly, then we're in trouble. I find myself somewhere in the middle. I am happy we're
Hmm.
winning. I am not happy with the way we're winning, and I think honestly, like Neville wants to blame the players, this and that, but I think he hasn't been taking the Open Cup as seriously as he says he has. I think he's been trying to gamble a little bit, and hey, all power to him. The gambling has worked. He's
Hmm.
gotten the wins. He's gotten the results. He's advanced in the tournament. So I could sit here and say, "Oh man, play your A lineup against Tormenta. Play your A lineup against Miami FC." But he's gotten away with it, and we'll talk about what we expect against Orlando. But I think he's got to fix that lineup. What do you think, Akeem?
And not even just that, like how you mentioned how one he said that he was gonna focus. He did mention that he was gonna focus mostly on Open Cup. He is quoted as saying that. But the problem with that is we don't have depth like he thinks we have. I don't know what he's seeing. I'm seeing something different. We don't have depth, so we're playing people out of position. Like I think McVay was playing out of position at one point.
Yeah,
Um,
he had Vasilev in the midfield against
he had
Tormenta. And
Vasilov, Jovan Jones out of position, but we're grinding out wins. Like for example, I have some stats here, right? Against Miami FC, 11, just shots. We had 11. We had 11 shots. They had 9. We had 4 on target. We only had 47% possession. They had way better passing than us. They had more passes, but we had the same passing accuracy. We had 21 fouls.
that was a brutal game.
21 fouls.
And we'll get into the other brutal game next.
Yeah, with yeah, fuck. With Rob Lowe
Been
getting a
nasty
red
Open
card.
Cup.
Yeah, with Rob Lowe getting a not Rob Lowe, Damian Lowe
Damien Lowe, yeah, right at the end.
getting a red card at the
Right at
94
the death.
at the 94th minute. Yeah, so they're grinding out wins, yes, and we'll talk about how they grinded out that win against Tormenta too when we talk in the next part. But they're ugly wins. Like they, especially I think it was one play where Campana and one other guy had like 3 shots, boom, 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 right in front of the goal, and we didn't score at that point. So
Kept
it's
shooting
like
it right at the keeper.
right at the keeper.
It was Emerson.
every time.
Oh god, that was tough. I want to talk about two things, honestly. Let's talk about the red card real quick. I was looking at that red card, actually kind of necessary in a way. They could have gotten a good opportunity.
I
there
didn't
to,
see it, to be honest. I didn't see
Yeah,
the
no,
red
no, no.
card.
He saved us. I don't know if it was a red card. That's up for debate, whatever. But I think he did save us a little bit from them tying there and taking it after. So whatever. We did lose Damien for the last one. We survived without him. Another thing I
Yes.
wanted to talk about is the depth that Neville thinks he has. I think we have depth on paper. I think
We do, but we really
But-
don't.
but listen, we have depth on paper, but the problem is this is like a brand new team. So even with a lineup like the one against Tormenta, you look at it and you're like, okay, well, Calendar played good last game,
Mm-hmm.
and Sailor played good last game, and
Mm-hmm.
Iwain, is a global superstar. He should be able to like ball against Tormenta, or was a global superstar, yeah. Um, and you look at it and it's like, I think Franco mentioned in the podcast yesterday, and it's true. They don't these teams have never played together. They've
No.
never ever played together. You're throwing these lineups out that have never ever even practiced together practically, and that's a problem, man. You
Mm-hmm.
gotta figure something out, and I think this is the opportunity to do that. We'll talk about that towards the end with the 5 games in 14 days. Mix up those lineups, man, and I think we might see some of that today. We'll talk about that, but I think that's good for the Miami FC game. You ready to talk about and there's the other thing. It was a nasty game, a lot of cards,
Yeah,
right back in.
I
Yeah,
expected that from two teams from the same area. I
yeah,
expected that. I was surprised that there weren't more yellow cards because, and we'll talk about this in the Tormenta game. How I told you that it was going to be red cards in that Tormenta game. These Open Cup refs are like, can't they're don't they use the same pool as of refs as the as MLS because they're all US Pro refs. Am I right
yeah,
about that?
yeah, yeah.
It feels like they're calling some things in Open Cup a yellow card and some things in MLS a yellow card, and it seems very inconsistent to me. And that's why I said during the Tormenta game, we can switch over to the Tormenta game now.
Yeah, yeah.
How I saw how the game was going, and I looked at you and I looked at Wilson. I'm like, there's gonna be a red card in this game. There's gonna be a fucking red card because the way that the
Dude.
ref was calling everything, I was like, there's no way that we finished with 11 men.
Well, not only that, it was a chippy ass game, dude. It was
Mm-hmm.
just super chippy from the beginning, and I remember you telling me that. And I go, "You think so?" And you're like, "I know so." And then I moved to another section, right?
You moved by
And
the
then
band, yeah.
yeah, I moved by the band for that part, and you came up to me. You came and looked at me. You go, "I told you." And I was like, "Yes, you did. You told me that there was gonna be some red cards, and what a red card did we get though? Honestly,
Oh my
I
god.
was entertained. A lot of people weren't there for it. I'm not there for it in the sense that look, now we don't have Robbie for the next game, and he's our best backup striker. I'd rather have
Next
him than
Open Cup
Campana.
game, yes.
Yeah, next Open Cup game, I'd rather have him as the backup striker if Campana goes out. We already saw him leave a game during Charlotte. That sucks. But you know what? I do like to see that plugged into the team. It was a horrible fight. It was really.
I saw the replay and it looked like I don't know what was said. It was kind of like a Zidane moment where I
Yeah.
don't know what was said on there, but Robbie just went up there and was like, "All right, fuck it, we're doing this," and he just went after him. And
I was joking.
a lot of people
I
were
was joking
giving
around.
giving him
Yeah.
shit for that on Twitter. Of course, I saw that. I don't know if you saw Traveler's tweet. IMC FC Traveler. He's a good
What do you say?
follow.
What do you say?
You were just talking about like how he liked the fight in the like how he liked to see
Oh
that
yeah, I
fire in
saw
a
that.
player. But people were giving shit. Oh, how dare you talk like he assaulted.
Inter Miami
Get over
Twitter, dude.
yourself. Get over
The, the,
yourself,
to-
guys.
the toxic trough that is Inter Miami Twitter. I was talking about it with Caesar yesterday. We're gonna have Caesar on this show a bunch too. We're
We
gonna have a
have
lot
to,
of
yeah.
different
We
Vice
have
members.
to, yeah.
But me and Caesar were talking about just the toxic trough, the weird bunch that is Inter Miami. That just never happy. Like you'll have a win and everybody's just like crying or something over there. And we're comparing it to Miami Heat Twitter, which is another crazy bunch.
Yeah.
USMNT Twitter, which is another big yorong. A lot of crying going on over there.
I mean, we're very easy to hate. So I've accepted that as a team and as an organization, we're very easy to hate. So if people are gonna jump on any opportunity to hate on Inter Miami, like that whole debacle with Beckham going to a Heat game because his daughter wanted to. His daughter was in town because people don't realize his family isn't here in America. That's why
Yeah,
half
they're
the
in England.
that's why half the
They're
time
in
he's not
England.
here. He's spending time with his family, so he'll come here for a few weeks. But his daughter was in town because she was out of school and she's a Jimmy Butler fan, so she wants to go to a Heat game. If your daughter comes up to you like, "Hey, I want to go to a Heat game," you're like, "Well, shit, I guess we're going to the Heat game." Like,
From a dad's perspective, yeah, you do what your daughter wants to do. Right?
yeah,
Your daughter doesn't want to go to Crusty FIU Stadium. I get it. And
no,
you know, I was one of the first critics. Me and you can
I
get
get
into that
that.
one of these days because I feel like he should be there. Whatever,
Mhm.
Jorge Mas made it, so that's good or whatever, and I'll take it. But yeah, also with the fight, what was said, I made a joke on Instagram. I think I heard Franco talk about the before the game. He was talking about if Robbie's entered bust status, and we could talk about that on another topic. I think he's kind of close, man. Number one overall pick. You look at how Daryl DK played in that same draft, I believe.
Yeah,
We should be and dude, this is a light. Speaking of that, the media here, they're light on these guys, dude. And Neville, I think, has been his biggest critic out of anybody.
mm-hmm.
But I made the joke. I was just like, what if Dangler or whoever he fought said that he was a bust? and he got pissed about that. Um, but yeah, it was a nasty Tormenta game. A lot of the same with the Miami FC stuff. I don't know if you have the numbers in front of you, but
I do.
I think we beat them in possession. I think they beat us in
We
shots. I'm pretty sure
yeah,
they
we
beat us
beat
in
them.
shots.
We had so they had a 14 shots. We had 7. They had 6 on target to our 3. 59% possession to us. Way more passes, 561 to 383 but the passing accuracy was about the same. So we held possession more, and I think most of that is going to be in the second half because that first half was murder. They were killing us, man. And even I got a quote here from Phil, and we can go into this. This is kind of one of the things one of the big talking points from the game. So I got a direct quote here from Phil. I thought the performance was unacceptable. Full credit to the opposition. They deserve to go to the next round. And I got another, this is not a direct quote, but this is something that Alex Windy from the Heron Outlet brought up. Check their stuff out as well. They have good information as well. He also says some of the players on the pitch tonight were asking for game time. And he says a performance like that tonight is the reason why they don't start most of the time. I mean,
Yes.
shit, man.
Dude, hey, you know what? I love it. I love it.
I don't mind it.
I've seen, we've seen the reaction throughout the week. Hercules Gomez, a lot of people reacting to it. He kind of likes it in some ways, doesn't like it in the other ways in the locker room. But Phil talked about it earlier this week in the other interview where he's got a type of locker room that can handle the truth. And I like that.
He should.
Listen, we didn't have that the last 2 years. We didn't have a locker room that can handle the truth. And I believe that's where the purge came from. We had a lot of divas. We had a lot of people who couldn't hear the truth. And the truth was they didn't play hard. They didn't play together. And let's talk about that all wrapped up into this. Phil talked about this, and I was actually talking to some other people about this. And I want to hear what you think about this. Last 6 games, right, before Tormenta, includes 4 wins, including the Miami FC win, right, where we saw a whole new team, whole new attitude, and the wins, some of them were lucky, some of them were this, but they played hard almost all 90 minutes. They when they made a mistake, somebody covered for them. They played like we've been wanting to see Inter play for a long time. And those 6 games, even including 2 losses at the bookend of it, right? Yeah. The loss against New England, and I felt like they never stopped fighting. They never stopped fighting. That was kind of like everything went to shit game, but they didn't stop fighting, and I'm proud of them for that. They weren't good enough, but whatever. At least they played hard. And then Charlotte, I feel like, man, that's another one where if Gibbs would have made a few passes, if Vasilev made a few passes, made the extra pass, we could have won that. But you know what? I'm proud of the way they played. Charlotte kind of got a one-off there. That's gonna happen. That's soccer.
He gives that beat in that time, and notice how he got subbed out immediately. So he was about to get subbed out, but he just got caught out.
Neville talked about that, and that happens in the game. And you know what? Neville should have taken him out earlier.
Yeah.
But you know what? Those 6 games, right? The team we saw those 6 games compared to the team we saw in the first half is night and day. And Phil was talking about, I got to be happy with if you could do that every 7 games, that's fine. No, dude. I don't want to see that ever. I'm sorry.
No.
I'm sorry.
My heart can't take it, bro.
It can't. It's PTSD, dude. It's PTSD.
It's so bad because it feels like us back in 2020 again.
Yeah, it's horrible. So I really hope they can, kind of just adapt to this never give up attitude that they had those 6 games. I think, and you know what? After we talk about Orlando now, we'll talk about it against DC. I think we'll see that again. I think we'll definitely see that again. So, you cool with moving to Orlando now?
Yeah, we can move to Orlando. Yeah.
All right, so what was this, Thursday, right? We got announced 8:30 p.m. We got
8:30.
We got bamboozled for sure by Football Americas.
Yeah.
We shouldn't expect anything less from Sebastian and Hercules. I'm personally a fan of the show. How about you?
I'm a fan of the show. I just personally don't like Sebastian.
Yeah, but
I don't like him.
That's the Skip Bayless, Stephen A. Smith thing that they're building, right? I feel like they're playing their I forget what Lebitard calls it, but they're in character,
Yeah. It just seems like my problem with him is like nothing personal. It just seems like he wants to be a contrarian for the sake of being contrarian, and he just adds nothing. That's how I feel.
But you know what? I get you, but it adds to the program.
It does.
Appreciate it. And you know what? Sometimes I look at it, and maybe he, some of these contrarians, sometimes they believe all of it and whatever. But either way, it's a good, to me. The overall thing of the program that I like is them covering CONCACAF, right?
Yes.
You have them covering the players in Europe, from Mexico, from USA, from the rest of CONCACAF, the coaches in Europe. They talk about Jesse Marsh. They talk about these Mexican coaches as well. They talk about the American and Mexican players in Europe. They talk about the leagues here, right?
Yeah.
And there's not a lot of coverage on these leagues. When I want to
Well,
look for
specifically on
coverage,
ESPN.
yeah, especially on ESPN, especially. But yeah, when I want to cover stuff, I look at Extra Time, the whole MLS team. I look at Franco, I look at Inter Miami podcast, and shout out to those guys. Shout out
Hmm.
to everybody who's paved the way over here for us to kind of create this fan-driven channel. Thank you guys for all the content you provide for us, and we hope to kind of like do something a little different here. I hope you guys have liked what we've done so far. Just talking about it from a fan's perspective, in the stands and stuff. And hey, one thing we forgot to talk about in the stands is Tormento. We didn't get the biggest crowd, but I liked our vibe.
Yeah.
I thought we brought it pretty well. I had a lot of fun for a Tuesday night.
Yeah, it was a Tuesday
Um,
night, so a lot of people aren't going to drive the half an hour, 45 minutes up to Fort Lauderdale. And I get that. Most Open Cup games, since they're on weekdays, a lot of people don't go to those games.
dude, you know who came? You know who did come to the game? Remember who was on top of the band? Let's talk about that real quick.
Oh, the Academy.
Yes, man.
That was
Yes.
wild. I took a I don't know if I have it still on my phone. But I had it started. Those kids were wild, and I actually went up to them. I don't know if I told you about this. And I went up to them. I specifically told them, and they didn't know they were having fun. I'm like, hey, remember, this is for you.
I told them that too.
This all that fun you're having, all that is for you. So remember that when you're training, when you're
Yeah,
playing,
yeah.
all that
Yeah.
because their season just ended. That's why they were there at the stadium, because their season had just ended that day. So
I
that's
told
why
them-
somebody there.
Yeah, a lot of us kept conveying that message. Work hard. We want to be cheering you guys on. We want to be cheering on homegrown players.
We gotta
Players
get.
from Miami.
We should have got some photos with them. But yeah, it was great to see the Academy there, and we gotta invite them to the North Side more
I
often.
think the team did a good job of getting them with us there, whatever. And we'll look back at that day. You know what? And that's really important for me. It's important for you. It's important for us at Vice City because we're all about family. We're all about passing the torch down to the next generation. I know
Definitely.
that. Hey, I'm 29, turning 30 this year. Before I know it, I'll be 60, turning 80.
Exactly,
We
yeah.
got to be able to pass this down generation to generation. And and a lot of those players are going to be on the field one day. Some of them, sadly, soccer, everybody doesn't make it, right?
Yeah.
But these are Miami kids who bleed pink and black, just like we bleed pink and black. So seeing them there with us, that was huge to me, man.
That was great.
That was so cool.
That was really
That was-
special, yeah. Because
was.
especially in an area like South Florida where we have a reputation of having fickle fans, like. We have the reputation, and we know that. We know that's the because there's shit to do in Miami. This isn't like Green Bay where they sell out every game because there's nothing to do in Wisconsin. We have shit to do here.
Well, 1896, right? That's Miami's inaugural year. That's a young city. It's a
Yeah,
young city.
true.
And it's not like 1896. All of a sudden, there's Cubans and Brazilians and Argentines and Trinidad people here. No. We started developing like that in 1980 after the Miami Beach Restoration Project, right? And that's where Miami started getting this soccer influence, this flair, and growing as a major city. So people don't understand how young of a city, number one, and how lack of the generational gap, right? My generation now is our generation actually. What am I talking about? Mine, because you're in it too. You came at 10 years old. Our generation is just starting to come out now, and people are starting to see how big of a fans we are, how proud we are of our city, and we're young relatively, right? A lot of the older people, some of them grew up here, but not most of them. They all come from New York, they all come from Brazil, South America, Europe. So they're starting to develop that too. And when you look at the youth, when you look at the academy, when you look at someone like Noah Allen, I've heard him in some interviews talk about how proud he is to play for this team.
He
because
lives
this
down
is
the
his
street from
1000
me.
He does. He
He
does.
lives down the street from me. Yeah.
And he's so cool, man. I love that kid. I love that he got a chance to play with the first team. I know it was due to a lot of injuries.
Yeah.
But you know what? But he's got a bright future, and we could look back at the season and all of that, and it's really cool, man. And it's really what we want to provide. And on that note of Miami, I'll bring up the name. I didn't explain the name. That's one thing I didn't explain. I'll explain it towards the end too. Ventanita. If you're from Miami, you kind of got it.
Yeah, you already know.
You already know, bro. The Ventanita is where you go. You get your croqueta. You get your cafecito. You go and you talk shit about the Dolphins, the Heat. Now Inter Miami, right?
Especially Dolphins, yeah.
You talk about politics and stuff like that. So that's kind of the glimpse we wanted to have, the vibe we wanted to have. Like, let's drink a little coffee. I got my Mountain Dew because I'm a weirdo.
I'm just getting over a cold, as you can probably hear,
Yeah.
so that's why I'm drinking water.
Yeah. But we come, we have a few, we hang out, we talk, and have some banter and stuff. So that's cool. I just definitely want to talk about the academy there. Now, my bad. I know we started talking about Football Americas for a little bit. We had to watch some Liga MX highlights for like an hour or so.
Yeah,
And we
yeah.
finally got the draw. What were you hoping for?
I mean, I was honestly same thing like Miami. I was hoping Orlando. Because they're gonna want to prove something to us, like they always do, because they have nothing better to prove. So, you know what, fuck it, let's go to their stadium and let's beat them. I'm not gonna run scared, and I'm not gonna lie. In some group chats, I saw, oh shit, we have Orlando. No, fuck that. Because if we dodge them, if we get like Louisville City, or if you get Nashville, they're always gonna be like, oh, you dodged this, you dodged this. Like, you know what, let's do it. If you're gonna beat us directly.
Well, I like your attitude.
It's petty.
No, but you know what? It's confident, and that's what we need right now. That's what we need right now. Hey, we're on a bit of an Open Cup run. Yeah, it was against Miami FC. Yeah, it was against Tormenta. But we're winning these games. We're doing it despite our lineups. I like your attitude, and you know what? I'll tell you, before the draw, I definitely didn't want Nashville. I didn't want Nashville.
The way Nashville plays, because we're counterattacking, but Nashville is very defensive. That's why they draw all their games. Half their games they draw, because they're like, all right, we're just gonna sit here and we're gonna defend, and if you give us, they're such a good wall, and I don't mind giving them props.
And Hani Mukhtar, dude, they got they got their little attack going, bro. Like they're a dangerous team. If we had to play them at Geodis, I would have taken them at home. That would have been a cool thing. But if we had to go to Geodis, that would have been weird, And they beat Atlanta last time. It was a tough game. They beat Atlanta.
Yeah, I saw that.
Kind of at the death. That was crazy. But I didn't want Nashville, that's for sure. Orlando was kind of my second option, because that's a tough team too, man. They're the Oscar Parejas has those guys playing good. Pato's playing good. I hate to give them props, They've kind of been in a little bit of a funk lately.
They're inconsistent at the moment, because they'll lose to like random teams and then win games, and cause I think they won their last game, if I'm not mistaken, because I don't really keep up with them. But like they lost the game before that, so like they're here and there.
And they're not in the Supporters Shield race, so they're gonna try in the Open Cup. They want a trophy. They lost MLS's back. They're dying to bring a trophy to them, just like we're dying to bring a trophy too. We understand. Louisville was actually my first choice. I'm that fickle guy. I'm that fickle guy who wanted the USL team. But guess what? Louisville has, I think, won a few championships. Over in the USL.
They're no pushovers.
They're nobody to bat an eyelash at, and I was scared that Neville would try a B lineup against them or something. So you know what? Luck of the draw. Everything happens for a reason. If we were gonna play away, I did want Orlando away.
Yeah.
If that was the case, I wanted to host. I really wanted to host. But if it's Orlando away, speaking of that, dude, when the draw hit, I got a video. I'll upload that to YouTube too. I freaked the fuck out.
I saw that. Yeah, I saw it in the chat.
Yeah, I posted on the chat. I'll post it on YouTube. It was really fun. It was just on a whim. I grabbed my phone. I started recording. And it was really cool to get that reaction, that live reaction. Me and my girlfriend Ashley were super excited. We're going to Orlando. You guys on Twitter, see you soon.
The Mickey Mouse. Just real quick, Orlando right now is 5-2-4.
Okay, 5-2-4.
Yeah, they have 5 wins, 2 draws, and 4 losses.
Okay.
So like I said, you can catch them on a good day, you can catch them on a bad day.
What are we? What are we? We're 4-1-5.
We are 1-6. No, we are 3-1-6.
Oh, that's right, because one of the wins was in Open Cup. Yeah, 3-1-6. Okay, well, you know what? They only got 2 more wins than us. And we could build up some wins here. I do feel confident against them. And like you're talking about, man, this is a rivalry game. Dude, honestly, every time I've seen Inter Miami against Orlando, even those crappy teams in the past, they kind of bring it that game. They understand the rivalry. We've never won at Orlando, and I'm hoping this is the first time. This will be great. And if we advance here, we actually host next round. We host the winner of Nashville, Louisville. Yeah. So it's important, man. It's important. And we'll talk about the lineups. I do expect an A lineup against Orlando. Nothing
we have
less.
to do, we have to.
Yeah, and we'll talk about what that lineup is for me, that A lineup. You ready to go into DC United here?
Yeah, DC. Since I already have it pulled up, DC right now.
Wait. Before we move on, sorry.
Go ahead.
Before we move on, guys. Yeah, we're super excited for Orlando. Actually, in the chat, have you signed up for the bus? Are you coming on the bus, Akeem?
I have to see because I start my new job on Monday, so I'll have to see if I'm available.
That's tough, man. I'm sorry.
Nah,
I'm sorry.
It happens.
Yeah, but we'll figure it out. A lot of us, I'm calling the day off. I haven't called it off yet. Wednesday the 25th, we're taking a bus up. We're gonna most likely meet up at Drive Pink Stadium, and get together on a bus. If you are interested in coming, we're super excited, man. We're gonna make this a fun trip, like we always do. Sing all 90 minutes, show up Orlando. If you are interested in coming, join us, man. Come message me on social media, Wario64, WARIO64 written out, or the number. Instagram, Twitter. Write to Akeem. You can write to Caesar if you know Caesar. Write to us. You can also go on vicecity1896.com/memberships. Memberships are available. If you can't get into the website, let me know and I'll figure it out for you. But we're always accepting new members. We're always doing cool stuff like this, riding up to Orlando. I'm sure the other supporters groups are figuring some stuff out. But if you want to join our atmosphere, if you want to join our rowdiness, our party, definitely contact us, man. It'll be fun to have you guys for that Orlando game. That'd be a great time for you to start, or any of these games. If you want to come today, DC, come visit us. We're gonna be over in the green lot,
Yeah, the green
over
lot.
by the
Yeah.
academy, over by the academy field, by the high school field. Come have a choripang with us. Come hang out, man. We'll talk. You can come up to me. You can come up to Akeem, and we can talk about the game. We can talk about whatever, and come join us if you want against Orlando. But yeah, without further ado, let's head into DC United. I know they lost their last Open Cup match, but I think they beat Houston. In their
Let me
last,
see here. They beat Houston 2-0. They lost to Columbus 3-0 as well.
and they're
Um,
above us in the table by like 2 or 3 points. So if we win here, we can kind of climb a little bit. I know they've been struggling as well,
they're
right?
beating us by where's the points? They're beating us by 2 points. They currently have a 4-0-5 record, so they haven't drawn any games. They either win
That's
or
crazy.
lose,
That's pretty
and they
crazy.
have a
Uh,
negative 1 goal difference.
Welcome to the MLS.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but I think they're bringing 30 or 40 fans down. DC has a feverish support for them as well. They're one of the historical teams in the
I would
MLS.
expect more, honestly. Is DC is right down in 95.
Yeah, it is, but and the flights aren't too expensive. But that team's going through a lot too. They just fired their coach.
Yeah, that's right.
That's why they're kind of getting a resurgence in there. And we've built a bit of a rivalry with them, dating back to our second game ever. Our first goal, remember, was that
Yeah, that was our first ever goal. It was Prizarro.
who who's Pizarro scored it, right?
Yeah,
And then Morgan got the goal called back because of some foul
yeah, I
by the
remember.
Hialeah ref. The ref from Hialeah, dog.
Yeah,
Like, oh,
no, he betrayed us. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah,
Rubiel, Rubiel, Rubiel Vasquez, some shit like
yeah,
that.
he's
I
from
have him on
Hialeah.
Instagram,
Yeah,
bro. But yeah, we've had some hiccups with them, with DC. We won't get into too much detail about that, but definitely some animosity between the fan groups. But I'm hoping for a good match. Hoping they don't try to come up, try to start anything.
I don't
I
think
don't
they
think
will.
they will. I don't think they will. I think 30 or 40 of them are gonna whimper at our 200 plus or whatever.
Exactly.
Or whatever we have at the preview. So we'll be good. We'll be fine. DC will survive. What are you looking for as far as the lineup today against DC? What do you think? A lineup,
Um,
B lineup, or do you want to do a lineup kind of prediction? What do you want to do?
I say we do. I think we got a good lineup. I expect Calendar to start. Diop is still out.
Okay.
Marsman is out with a back. I don't know what's going on with Diop because I did see him. He wasn't warming up, but he was on the field during halftime at the Tormenta game. But he wasn't fully dressed out. He was just kicking the ball around with Bryce Duke.
Okay, so yeah, let's get into injuries. Actually, forgot about to talk about that. So, as far as injuries go, what is it? It's Mabika. Neville said he might come back against Philly.
Yes.
It's too soon this weekend, so we'll see what's up with Mabika. It'd be
Hmm.
really nice to get him back. Marsman's day to day with his back, but again, speaking in the goalkeeper situation, Calendar's been playing out of his mind.
Crazy.
Um,
And
Crazy.
I will say at the I think it was the Miami game, and when they put Calendar in goal, and I tweeted at Alex Wyndham like basically like what the fuck is going on? I thought we
We're
were
all
throwing.
nervous. I was nervous. I
I
was
thought
nervous,
we
dude.
were throwing, but because I remember during the preseason when we played against Montreal, and they actually I think it was Montreal who posted footage of their goals, and he was just letting in easy goals. I was like, come on, but
Yeah, dude.
he
What
has
happened?
improved.
What happened?
He has. I don't know what he's eating for breakfast. I don't know what they're feeding him, but this man has. He's our number one keeper as of right now.
Yeah, he is, and Mabika had a change when he went to go play for the national team. Calendar had a breaking point too. He's talked about it on one of the podcasts. We got to go back, but he definitely had a breaking point. He's changed, and at this point, man, like Neville says, he's competing for that number one spot. I don't know if you let Marsman back in when he's fully healthy.
My,
You at least let him. You at least let Marsman get fully
yeah,
healthy now before you
yeah.
even consider it.
My only thing
And
is
Diop,
his distribution isn't as good as Marsman because
it's
Marsman
not.
he can kick it and put it on the dime in the 18-yard box, but Marsman's much more experienced than Calendar is. But once Calendar works on his distribution, he's our number one keeper after that.
I know the team values distribution, right, and playing with your feet.
We have to because we're
But
counterattacking you.
yeah, but what happened against Charlotte? What happened right in the first minute? I think Marsman was a little hurt. That was the game he came out. I'll give him that excuse. He does play better from the back, but at this, I don't know, man. I get that we want someone who could play with their feet, but I want somebody who could, like like Calendar does, man. Like have those magnets inside of your gloves. Un imán adentro de los
Yeah.
guantes. Just like he like the ball just he finds a way, man. You saw that save against Tormenta.
That
with
first
the
one,
header,
yeah, that
and the
first
header
one,
and the header was insane, dude. The reaction time, like this man
yeah,
plays
like
ping pong, bro. He's a fucking
and
ping pong
and like
expert, bro. With
and
those
like I
reaction
mentioned
skills.
earlier, how like I grew up saying like I played goalkeeper in high school and high school a little bit after high school, and I know how hard that is to get a reaction from that close. That is not easy. That
It's
is
not
you just have
without
to like
fouling.
no yeah you just
Without
have to
fouling.
know like you just have to commit like fuck it, I'm going here, and if it gets to my glove, it gets to my glove, and
And hey,
he's
it did.
doing it. He's doing it
He did.
big.
He's our team MVP. He almost got man of the match. Obviously,
He was
last
my
year got
he was my
goals.
man of the match, even though last year I know he scored two. He wouldn't have scored those two if we weren't in that game.
Yeah, no, 100%. I do believe Calendar deserved man of the match, probably against Miami FC too. So I'm confident with him back there. When we talk about Diop, I know he's coming off some injury as well, so he's mainly just the backup.
Yeah. I
But
don't know what his injury. I don't think it was ever disclosed what his issue
no,
was.
yeah, I think it was a muscle thing too. I think it was like a
Because,
muscle, like a
like I said,
thigh
when he
or-
was doing the kick around, he seemed fine. He wasn't like labor or anything. He was taking shots on Duke in goal, which was funny enough.
yeah.
Duke was in the goal.
All right, so we got Calendar starting today. That's for sure. I
Definitely.
guess that's Diop on the bench for sure.
We should have
Mark-
Jones.
Jovan Jones. You think I left back?
I believe so. We have McVay available. I don't know if we start Gibbs. I honestly don't think we do.
So you know what? I agree with you. I'm gonna put Jovan Jones on the left back
Yeah.
position. We got Jovan Jones. I would say McVay is the left center back. Okay, since Mabika's not back yet.
Mm-hmm.
Low can play today, right? I believe he can.
He
Lowe's
should,
back.
yeah, because that red card was from Open Cup, so he should be
Dude,
available.
I'm scared. I'm scared about injuring Yedlin. We've played this guy so much, and he's been playing so much. With
He's been playing well though. So yeah, even in the game against Charlotte, he still played pretty well.
Who do we play instead of Yedlin? They had to bring up Harvey Neville, dude. I don't even know.
Yeah, and that's
do you
another
do
thing
about
about our
that?
depth. Like we have one guy out, and our defense is very important. And
Yeah, that scares me.
how do
That
you
scares me.
replace Yedlin?
We're gonna talk about that now because we have 5 games in 14 days. He can't play all 5, so
Oh,
they're gonna have to
you
figure
need-
something
you
out
need
back
to
there. I
kill
guess
him, man.
we'll see what we think. All right, so who do you think plays the 6? Mota, like the deep center defensive mid, the link. They've been playing Mota there recently. I think
I
they'll go with
don't
it
care
again.
for Mota there, to be honest. And that's one of the problems we had against Tormenta.
It is. No, but Mota wasn't playing. Mota didn't play that game. He didn't. He
Okay,
didn't.
I might have got that. I might have got that
No,
wrong because I remember.
it was a problem against Charlotte. It was a problem against
Yeah,
Charlotte
yeah,
because of the one play in the beginning. But that's a hiccup, man. I think he's been one of those differences, man, linking between the defense and the midfield and the forwards. I don't know. I'm gonna slot him back there. I'm gonna put Gregore as the right.
And I don't mind Gregor in the middle, but that motherfucker needs to learn how to do a slide tackle.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I swear to God, holy shit, dude.
I'm gonna put him on the right. I'm gonna put him on the center right, and I'm gonna put Robbie Taylor as the back left. Robbie Taylor. Now it gets interesting up top. Lassiter has to play up top on the right?
You got to put Lassiter on the right and Campana back in middle. Campana needs to come
back in
back.
the middle.
He has to come
Now,
back.
who comes on the left? Robbie, or do you think they put Vasilev up there? Or do you
Probably
think they
they-
put Robbie Taylor, or do you think they do Robbie Taylor up top and Vasilev in the midfield? Because they put Vasilev in the midfield against Tormenta. I don't know if it worked or not.
I say they
prefer
start.
Vasilev.
I say they start Vasilev in left and then sub him out for maybe Robbie.
Okay, that's a good one. So I have bottom to top here. Tell me if you agree with this lineup for today. And I think this is a strong A lineup. I think you play this today. I think you need a win. And then, we'll talk about Philly next. So I say we have Calendar in the back, Jovan Jones on the left back, McVay as the left center back, Lowe as the right center back, Yedlin as the right back, Taylor as the left center mid, Mota as the center mid, Gregore as the right center mid, Vasilev up top to the left, Campana up top, and then Lassiter to the right.
Yeah, that sounds good. That should work. As far as substitutions, trying to think. Yeah, you would probably sub out Gregory or Mota.
Robinson should be on the bench. Mo Adams on the bench. Yeah.
Higuain probably will be on the bench, unfortunately.
You think so?
Probably. He'll be on the bench at least.
Yeah, at least.
They're not gonna start because
So we have Diop,
Phil
Robinson, yeah.
Neville mentioned his fitness a lot. How he I think before that last Tormenta game, I think he said he only practiced one day. He because he had just come back from injury. He only practiced like the day before, and that was all the practice he had. So he's
Bryce
probably
Duke.
gonna get benched.
Bryce Duke definitely on the bench. So I got Duke, Higuain, Mo Adams, Robinson, Diop. That's 5. I believe we got space for 2 more on the bench.
I'm pretty sure Duke will come on eventually.
I don't know if you include Ulloa today. What do you
Don't
think?
forget Quinteros.
Quintero's on the bench. So we need
Quinteros
a
and
right back.
yeah, and
All right, I
Emerson.
guess Emerson. I don't. I think he's that guy that he was talking about asking for minutes and we're not gonna see.
That it was probably him, 100%.
Oh, you know what? Gibbs. We forgot about Gibbs. I think Gibbs will be on the bench.
I'm not too worried about Gibbs right now.
I think Gibbs will come on for Jovan Jones if they need him, or maybe they'll mix it up. You know what? And here's the next thing we're talking about. So we do have Gibbs and Jones. Maybe you could slot one of them on the right for next game. So
Yeah.
I believe this is our A lineup. I think we're gonna come out with an A lineup today, and that's the next thing I wanted to talk about with you is 5 games in 14 days. This will be our final thought, one of our final talking points, and then we'll give our final thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
We have 5 games in 14 days. We start off with DC. We play Philly, I believe, on Wednesday, right? So
So we
I
got
believe we
DC
come out with an
Philly.
A lineup today.
Oh yeah, we're playing on Wednesday. Shit.
We do,
That's
we do.
right.
This one's tough, man. You know what? As much as I do want to come up with an A lineup today, here's my thing. I kind of want to see an A lineup against Philly on Wednesday. New York Red Bulls, you get everybody to rest, and then Orlando City. That way, you kind of have that consistency of like playing in a week, like 7 days apart. Because I believe if we come out with an A lineup here and then like a B and a C lineup against Philly and New York, everybody's gonna be kind of, I don't know, rusty. You think by the
Because
time we get to Orlando?
it also depends
'Cause
on
that,
where they're playing. Because Philly is in Philly,
yeah, it's at Philly.
and then Orlando is in Orlando, and
New York is at home,
New York is at home, and there was another one,
and then
and
Portland.
then we play
Portland
Portland
at
at
home,
home.
at home, at home. So I don't know. What do you think about that? That's what I want to talk. How would you rotate this if you were Phil? Would you do the A
It's
lineup today?
tough. I think the tough game is gonna be the away game. Even though it's not that far, it's Philly, right?
Yeah.
Philly's the away game. It's not that far. It's not like going to Seattle, like how we had to go like 2 days early just to go
What if
just to play a game in Seattle.
what if we pull up an A lineup today, right? This is the game in front of us. You got to win the game in front of you.
Of
right?
course.
Philly, you can go in and I believe start a B-ish team.
Philly's
right?
in first place right now, by the way.
They are.
They're
They are.
first in
So
the East right now.
and we're gonna want to go in there and try to get a win too. They might play a lower lineup against us too. So maybe this is
That's
our
true.
lower lineup against their lower lineup. You know, I believe you should give Yevlin some rest there. I believe Yevlin should get some rest. Gregore Mota got some rest last game. Maybe Lassiter should get a little break. You know, maybe McVay. Lowe's been well rested. You know, we'll see what happens there. I do expect to give Calendar these games though, because I want him to be sharp.
Yeah, calendar is our number one as of right now.
Yeah, and I want him to play all the games. So then Philly, I guess you can kind of go with a little bit of a rest. New York, you know what? Maybe you could play some of your starters and then take them out early, figure something out there. So I'm guessing Philly and New York should kind of be sort of B teams and come back with your A team against Orlando. That's what I would do. And I'm not a professional coach. I don't know what the best way to go about it is. What do you think?
I think that works really well because that's part of the game within the game. You have to manage you have to manage the load. You have to see who's and this is considering everybody is healthy. Who knows what freak accidents and injuries might happen? So this is assuming that everybody is for the most part healthy. Even though we have Marsman and BK and Shea, that man has like more brittle bones than I do. So he could be good for DC and not for Philly, and who knows? So
yeah, he might. You know what? We might get him against Philly, so that could give Yedlin a little bit of a break. We'll see about that. But yeah, anything else you want to add before we wrap it up?
I'm pretty sure we've covered everything. Yep, that seems to be everything.
Yeah, so excited for this slate of games coming up. Excited to preview some of them with you guys. Kind of react to this match. Gonna try to get maybe a little bit of video content, put out a little mini vlog or something like that. But thank you guys for joining us. Thank you guys for listening. If you've made it this far in the podcast, you are a trooper. Thank you for being here with us. I just wanted to go over some final thoughts before ending it. Akeem, you got any final thoughts? Anything you want to talk about? Could be personal Apex Legends. Whatever you
Funnily enough, because I'm recording my screen, the Apex Legends notification have been popping up on the screen, so that's gonna be funny to watch later. But as far as that, today should be an interesting match. DC. Like a lot of the teams, like for example, New England, DC, Toronto, Chicago, these teams, even Columbus, aren't having great seasons right now. So these are all beatable teams, especially with the schedule that we have. The only real crazy team is Philly that we have coming up. Red Bulls is in second right now, but not by much. But yeah, these games coming up. If everybody stays healthy and we play like we did against, Miami FC and other teams, these we can squeak by with some 1-0, maybe 2-0 wins.
Maybe.
2-1 wins. It's definitely doable. We're not like in the shit right now, at least not yet.
All right.
So these are winnable games.
They're winnable. I would say DC is definitely winnable, right?
100%. We should. I my score prediction is 2-1 right now.
Okay, let's do that too. Score prediction for DC 2-1. I would go with. I think we might get a 1-0 today. I think we'll get a 1-0.
I can see a 1-0. I can see a 1-0, but knowing us, we'll probably concede first. But notice how last year when we conceded first, the game was over. Now we're coming back from conceding now. So that's one thing.
If we concede first, I see a 2-1.
Yeah.
If we don't, I do see us protecting a 1-0. I see us getting a lucky-ish goal in the first half and then parking the bus with the 5 win backs. We've seen levels change to that. So I agree with you for DC. I think I disagree a little bit as far as Philly, New York, and Orlando. I think that's a tough 3-game stretch
100%,
in a short amount of time. Philly and New York are, if you've seen them play this year, they're playing out of their minds.
Lewis Morgan is balling right now.
Yeah, the thing that we do have is everybody is in the same situation, in the sense that Philly's gonna play on a Wednesday. They're in Supporter Shield race, so they're gonna go all out probably. That we might see 2 A lineups. We might see A B against New York because New York's got a game on Wednesday as well. I believe they play Charlotte or New England. I believe Charlotte. Yeah. So they might. Who knows actually? Because you know what, New York might be focused on the Supporter Shield. They're number 2. We'll see about that. But I do think it's tough. It's a tough set of games. I'll tell you what, right here though, if you could give me a crystal ball and you told me we're gonna lose to DC, Philly, New York, and Portland, but we're gonna beat Orlando, I'll take it 10 out of 10 times.
100%.
I'll lose 5-0 to every single one of them. I just want to beat Orlando. I know as pundits, everyone else, whatever. As a fan, that's the game I care about.
Yeah, no, you beat your rivals, and that's it. Nothing else matters.
And you know what, man? We're gonna show up to the stadium tonight. MLS match. If we lose to DC, fucking 2-0. Honestly, I'm looking forward to Orlando. Mm-hmm. Whatever. I'm gonna go to Miss Q after the game. We're gonna celebrate a few people's birthdays. We're gonna have fun.
Yeah, it's everyone's
birthday. You know what? And Orlando's that game that matters to me. It really does. And as far as final thoughts for me, I just kind of want to thank. I did it earlier. I want to thank everybody who's kind of paved the way making Inter Miami content. I hope we bring kind of like a different spin on Inter Miami content here. Like I said, Ventanita, this is the little window. Come get your croquetas, your café, and come get your hot takes on the games and everything that we want to bring here. I want to thank the team for having me on that Open Cup draw. I want to thank our city commissioners for approving Miami Freedom Park.
Yeah,
that's something we'll talk about one of these days. That was an amazing experience. I was able to run out of school. Yeah, I was able to run out of school for that day. That day was crazy. It was awesome, man. And I want to thank also the team. I was coming out of the bathroom, getting ready for the match, and Chris Allen calls me up. He's like, "Hey, man, you want to get? I need you. And I was like, "What do you need me for?" I was like, "What did I do now?" I was scared. I was like, "Am I in trouble? Did somebody do something?" He's like, I need you. Where are you? And then he finds me. He's like, we need to get you on the pre-match show.
Whatever. I saw that. Yeah.
You saw it. I posted it. So I'll be uploading a lot of that to YouTube, man. As of lately, I'm becoming a little bit of a sensation within the team.
Nice.
People are coming up to me. My girlfriend's getting embarrassed. People come up to me at the games like, "Yo, I saw you here." I was like, "Where'd you see me on the draw?" They're like, "No, I saw you I can't remember." I was like, "Did you see me on the pre-match?" Oh, no. They're like, "Oh, City Hall, whatever."
But
nice. It's been a lot of fun. I'm enjoying it. I definitely want to kind of segue that. A lot of people have been seeing my personality, and what I want to do is I want to showcase our personalities. The main person I wanted to bring on this was Akeem. I hope Akeem can stay on as a permanent co-host.
Definitely.
We definitely have our busy schedules, but we want to also bring people like Caesar, other Vice City members, other members from other supporters groups. We want to give you guys a glimpse into the life of a supporter. You see my bedroom here. We're gonna show off our jerseys. We're gonna show off our scarves like Akeem has. I got my nerd stuff. I'm a big comic book fan.
The only reason I don't have much stuff because I just moved into this room, so this is all I have for now.
And funny enough, yesterday was a Friday the 13th. We wanted to record our first podcast on Friday the 13th, but I was busy. I got a new tattoo.
You're getting tattoos, nice.
Yeah, I got a new tattoo. Got this 1896.
Looking fresh.
To add to some of the other 1896 tattoos. We got a bunch of them. I don't want to show. You know what? We can do an episode on tattoos. Let's definitely.
Yeah, a lot of the VCB guys have tattoos.
Yeah, we had a lot of tattoos. I'll explore. I know some other supporters sometimes have some tattoos that look pretty cool. So I'll do my research. That's another thing I want to bring you guys. If we're gonna bring a history episode or something, I'm gonna do my research. I'm a scientist first. I'm a teacher now, and I really do a good job at getting research and providing you guys with with the best information possible. So no, yeah, thank you guys for joining. I appreciate you guys coming through. And until next time, see you at la ventanita.
See ya.